All right, we're back. Another DISHIN podcast episode. You guys have been commenting like crazy on one of our clips about colored bubbles. So without further ado, Matt, what are we launching?
Colored Bubbles available now. We got the chrome version here, we got the stealth version, we got all the tints available for all your existing bubbles too. So it's been about a year in the works. We're really excited to launch this brand, get some feedback from you guys, and show you what other colors we're working on, some different chromes, and everything that's going to come out of that too.
And on this episode, we met up with Arda Öcal. He was in town during our bubble hockey tournament, so it's our second guest on the podcast. Super stoked. Talked a lot just about random stuff. We talked about the tournament that we hosted a few weeks ago. So yeah, this episode, again, Colored Bubbles is now live. Let's get it. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast. We have a guest. We haven't had a guest on in a minute, and we are on episode 12 now.
I'm not the first guest?
You're not. No, Pavel Barber was our first guest.
What?
Yeah.
Get out. I'm out of here. Yeah. Pavel Barber.
The second guest.
How am I going to follow Pavel Barber? I don't have any trick shots. I don't do anything. Maybe in super Chexx, but I don't do.
I think
I'm not good on the ice.
I think you can smoke him in super Chexx.
Actually, yes, I do. He would destroy me on the ice in any competition whatsoever. But super Chexx, I think I can beat Pavel Barber. I think I could beat Pete Lennis. I could beat Nasher. I could beat Always Hockey. I could beat. Who else? Who am I missing here?
Coach Chippy.
Yeah, Coach Chippy easily at Super Chexx. Not a chance Coach Chippy touches me at Super Chexx. I would take care of them all. But they're not here today.
They're not here, no.
No, we're talking the best of the best here.
But yeah, for those that don't...
What a way to start the podcast. I just called out half the hockey creator community.
That's going to be such a good clip.
That's 5 clips.
It's over. It's already over. They're all going to be trolling me like, what are you doing, bud?
But yeah, Arda, for those that don't know you, want to just kind of like introduce yourself a little bit here?
My name's Arda. Great to be here, by the way.
Yeah.
First of all, I love the city of Buffalo. You guys know what I think of Just DISHIN and SkateSkins. We've done some stuff in the past. Hopefully we do a lot of cool stuff in the future. Cannot wait for what's to come with you guys in the upcoming season. Yeah, NHL and ESPN, it's a blast, dude. Have a lot of fun. Also allows me to come to events like this. Super Chexx is a big deal to me, man. Grew up on it, just like any kid that loved hockey, played hockey. As soon as you got off the ice, couldn't leave the barn without playing a game of in the dome, So yeah, it's like you can't see it right now, but like in front of us, there's like 12 Super Chexx bubble hockey machines, and like if I were to envision heaven at 9 years old, I think this would be it right here. This would be my heaven right here.
That's a great way to put it.
You're painting the landscape. It is pretty beautiful, and shout out to Super Chexx because none of this would be possible without them or Smoldered Society or all the other sponsors that we have involved. But yeah, like you said, man, this is quite a view to look at. We'll pan and show the people, but unbelievable. It's crazy that we're here right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the custom machines too. Like I have the generic one at home. The red base, the generic players, no NHL branding, nothing, because that's what I grew up on. Those are the ones that I saw in barns growing up. But there's the Rick Jeanneret special with the Buffalo skyline and his quotes on the ice. That's super classy. You got the Miracle on Ice. 1980 Olympics edition. You have a couple of Just DISHIN specific machines. Smoldered Society right in the middle. Like and NHL team ones too, like the Sabres, etc. It's really like.
I think my favorite one is the one right behind me. We got the Oilers Panthers from the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. See, so that one's cool, but I think my favorite was the Miracle on Ice one. The details on that machine are insane. I don't know if you took a look at that one.
I did. Yeah, it looks good.
But like with the with the goalie pads and everything, just the classic like waffle look. I love that. Yeah. But yeah, this has been quite a day for you, man. You just got to Buffalo this morning, so let's talk a little bit about that.
I woke up super early to catch a flight. I had to drive a couple hours to the airport in New York, and then I flew here. We hit the ground running. We went to the brewery first, learned how they canned beer. You guys have a really cool activation coming up at the tournament. 2 different beers from Smoldered Society that you guys are launching, which is amazing. Really cool collab for you guys over at Just DISHIN. So they gave us a tour, which was a lot of fun, and we learned about how beer is fermented and created, etc. And then they let us run the whole contraption that essentially labels and puts together the cans of beer. We got to see the labels, which is awesome. We also saw this very random, apparently staple of Buffalo sports bars, the Buffalo Bills Stanley Cup champion banner.
Oh, yeah.
That I had never seen before. And I was like, what on earth is this? And apparently it's a Buffalo thing.
Yeah, it is. I would say it is a Buffalo thing. Maybe we can put this out to the people and see what they think. But this banner's like shown in bars, I think, like throughout the city and even surrounding too. But I don't know what the history of it is. I think it's just like was made in China by accident and then somehow made its way over here in like bulk quantities, and it's just like in every bar and like every weird place that you would see. So, and you bought one, right?
I bought one. I found it on Etsy, and I bought one.
Oh, you did end up buying
yeah,
one.
I tweeted it.
Oh, man.
I tweeted, and a couple of people that follow me responded saying, I literally just found it online, and I bought it.
Nice.
Like, I bought one for my dad, or I bought one for my man cave,
That's
and I was
hilarious.
like, this is hilarious. So I was like, maybe I can buy one, and I did. Super pumped.
Yeah.
Put it at work. It's going to be great.
We'll manifest that Buffalo Bills Stanley Cup championship.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. I love the trophies, too. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I will be right back.
I think he's gonna grab something, but
Big time.
before we move forward, let's give another thanks to our sponsors that were involved in this whole event so far.
I think, first of all, we have to say a shout-out to Smoldered Society and to ICE Super Chexx because, again, like we said, none of this would be possible without them and all the support that Greg and Cam and their entire team has put together to us. So, yeah, unbelievable work. Derek on our team has been unbelievable putting all this together. He's actually duct taping right now. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Derek's usually behind the cameras running the whole production for our podcast, so... this is like the first time hasn't been super hands-on with the pod. So
yeah.
These are the trophies for your bubble hockey tournament. I love, like, this is an oversized, essentially, Super Chexx player trophy. This says third on the back. There's actually another one over there that says second. Has the bubble hockey, your logo, the ice logo. Yep. I'm just going to put it over here now. And then the championship winner will get this Pro Wrestling Championship belt, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Look at the detail.
Wow. Heavy duty too. It's nice.
I'll just wear this for
a few
few
minutes.
minutes.
I don't know.
I mean, I already feel like a champion, boys. I'm not gonna lie. Now you see Coach Chippy, you see Always Hockey, you see Nasher, you see Sweet Annie OD. Do you see what it looks like to be a champion? Huh? Look at this right here. Okay. None of you can take this from me. You know, one day we're going to have to do like a creators bubble hockey tournament.
Yes, this will not be the first bubble hockey tournament that we do.
This is a nice belt, though. So, yeah, whoever wins. I have not seen, that's the coolest part, is I've not seen like the best of the best, like the world-class caliber bubble hockey players play.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how incredibly insane they are.
Yeah, and for those watching, too, like right now we're in Buffalo, New York, and this is where the whole tournament's obviously going to be at. There's a lot of people that are coming in from out of town that aren't from Buffalo. So we have a few people coming. We have folks coming from Ohio, Detroit. What else?
You're in the numbers. It's like 40% of people are from out of state. So a big, like you said, St. Louis, Detroit, both big hubs out of there. A few people coming in from Southern Ontario too. So Buffalo is well represented, but yeah, definitely from surrounding areas and cities, and not even like people out of Missouri that are coming through. So yeah,
should be
cool.
super exciting. So
yeah.
And it's cool. Like, it's cool for us too to like be able to have events like this and different people not from Buffalo come in and just see our city and see what goes on here, because this is a fun time of year to be in Buffalo. The weather's nice. The wings are great. Speaking of wings, you told us, so you've been to Gabriel's Gate before, right?
Yeah, the first NHL game I ever was a reporter for ESPN was in Buffalo at KeyBank. It was Sabres Golden Knights in March, and I worked the game with Mike Monaco, who is one of our shining stars at ESPN. He's awesome. He does every sport. He's fantastic at his job. He just did Wimbledon. Like he's a rock star. So he said every time he would do games here, when he years ago, he would go to Gabriel's Gate. So I said, okay, well, let's check it out. So I liked the wings. I thought they were good. But where did we go for lunch?
We went to Barbell, and Barbell is actually another sponsor too. They have a full Super Chexx machine. Custom Super Chexx machine here, which turned out really cool.
Barbell, home of the painted wings, a great looking Super Chexx machine. But yeah, Barbell. We had to hit Barbell as soon as we left the beer labeling tour. Actually, after we left the ice tour, which we'll get into a little bit.
So Barbell's number one on my rankings right now. I have a few to try. I am on a mission to try as many wings as I can while I'm in Buffalo, but right now Barbell's in the lead.
Barbell's nice, dude. They like the way they bread their wings is like we talked a little bit about this at lunch. Like every spot in Buffalo that makes chicken wings, like they bread them totally differently.
Yeah.
And you'll see that, especially, I'm sure you probably noticed it with Gabriel, the difference between Gabriel's Gate and now Barbell, which you'll see with Wing Nuts when they're here, and then also Picasso's as well.
Yeah. Super pumped to try them all. So you mentioned this. So we did the brewery tour. Awesome. Then we went to the ice facility, the factory where they make the Super Chexx and countless other games. And that was a trip. Let me tell you. That was like the island of awesome toys. It was so cool to be in there. There were and when I say tour, like they took us everywhere, dude. Like it was a giant tour too. There was like 30 people with us, and they took us to every corner of the factory, from places that we weren't even allowed to talk about necessarily, like their development area where they have like secret things going on that we can't talk about, to production areas, their woodworking areas, even their packaging areas. But obviously, like the most fun place is where they're assembling the games. And there's a whole row of Super Chexx. And there's like half-finished games, and some of them don't have the ice on them, so you can see the mechanics of the rods and how it all works. I was surprised to know, like, Super Chexx started, like, the bubble hockey started, like in the early 80s, right? And it's still, like, really, really popular.
Yeah.
Like, they apparently sell a lot to homes now. It's not just, like, arcades or Dave & Buster's or whatever. It's like, I mean, I'm a perfect example. Like, I bought one. People buy them for their homes and their man caves now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The whole Super Chexx facility is incredible, because you think about, like, you maybe see a Super Chexx machine from the outside, but you just don't know, like, what's under the game of, like, what goes into it, from, like, all the kinetics and just, like, the switchboards and everything that, I mean, these games are, like, so advanced now. They have replay.
Yeah.
They have, like, the Jumbotrons, all the new Jumbotrons are all, like, screens and LEDs, and it's just wild. So
one of the things I found funny was, so the newer versions, and actually right in front of us, there's the Rick Jeanneret commemorative Super Chexx, which is awesome. And Rick Jeanneret is the voice of the game now, right? He did voice lines, and he's forever immortalized in Super Chexx, right? May he rest in peace. So in the early days, though, we were told that random employees would just do the voice lines in the early Super Chexx games, which is, can you just imagine, like, John in marketing, hey, can you just come in and just record a couple of, he scores, what a move, like, just how funny would that be? And actually our tour guide said that he did a couple too, so there's like some Super Chexx out there from, I don't know, maybe the 80s or 90s that were created that have his voice in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. So you just, one day you go to work and you think you're on a sales call, and all of a sudden you're doing voice lines for Super Chexx.
We gotta
thing
find
you
one of
know,
those
too.
machines. I wonder if anybody still has some of those machines, like those first, like, early. It's like Apple. It's like those early Macs from like one of the first ones they ever made. Yeah, I know, it's cool.
I always think it's cool for us, like when we go out of town too, if we go to a sports bar or something and they have one of these machines, we hear Rick Jenneret's voice on it.
Amazing.
And it's just, it's so cool, because it's almost like no matter where we go, like there's still something of Buffalo that's implanted, some, like, in a sports bar, or in a Dave & Buster's, or in a local hockey rink, like you were saying too. So
we got the tour. We got to see like all the different departments, and like you said, like the motherboards and all of the way they described it was, the frame is the body, and all the main frames are the brains, and the different cords and the tubes and all the technology that ties it together, the veins, like it's basically like creating, almost like a prototype human being, but creating a game like that. So it was really cool to see that, and all the different games that they have, like Super Kicks, the soccer version, and
Whack-A-Mole,
Skee-Ball, and Monopoly, and Ghostbusters. Like they have like a lot of really cool games that were out on the floor, the NBA, Pop-A-Shot kind of thing. So yeah, it was awesome. That was total bucket list kind of stuff to be able to go, because we're all big, massive Super Chexx fans. So that was awesome. They were very accommodating. So shout out to Greg and the whole team there for inviting us over and having us walk through and, seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak. And it was really cool. So
yeah. So from there, went to Barbell, and then we went to the shop.
The shop. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Prime location, right at the edge of the theater district in Buffalo. what is it, Maine and
West Tupper.
West Tupper.
Yeah, Maine and West Tupper.
Amazing. I love that you guys have a prime corner spot. You walk in, there are the Jordan 1 Chicagos, the signature Just DISHIN SkateSkins, the thing that put you on the map for many people, myself included.
Yep.
And then the off-whites are there. One thing I really liked was the Drake Concept OVO Buffalo Sabres jersey that I hope you guys have the chance to present to Drake at some point, and he wears it on stage at a concert in Buffalo. That would be awesome. But yeah, you guys are doing awesome stuff there, man. Like I know I've said this to you guys before, but like I feel like your idea specifically, like you've done a lot of cool collabs, Chicago Blackhawks. I'm sure there's much to come, but like SkateSkins itself, even just to focus on that for a sec, like to me, that's an idea that's long overdue in hockey. Period. Just the idea of infusing identity, creativity, fashion in something as iconic as skates, something that everyone uses to play hockey, and something that is honestly not as customized as they very well could be.
Yeah.
So just the fact that it's starting slowly but surely, like surely is the word there, slowly but surely we are getting to a point where people are just this is just gonna become commonplace at some point. Because like we're so there, like it's just such a great idea. So
it means a lot, man, especially coming from you too, because you put us on the scene early. Like you bought some skins for the Point that they're still existent today in the ESPN studios. So very thankful for that. And we did some early work back when SkateSkins made their NHL debut with the Arizona Coyotes, and you picked that up and blasted it on ESPN with Greg with Wish, and that was unreal. So, man, we're really thankful for that. It's going to be cool to see where we're at with SkateSkins 5-10 years from now, because I think it's going to be a complete staple in the uniform of what hockey looks like. It just fully completes the equipment and everything. So, yeah.
I can see that. I honestly can see that.
Speaking of that, too, I'm curious because I don't even know if maybe I know the backstory and I just maybe forgot about it, but like how did you two get connected? Like was it originally through the DISHIN brand, or was that through SkateSkins?
I feel so like there's two touch points. One touch point is I remember seeing the post about the Jordan 1 Chicagos and just like blind DMing. I remember that. But also I was trying to connect with the Super Chexx people. Yeah. And by then we were connected like loosely, and I knew that you were based in Buffalo. And I mean, you really didn't have to do me this solid at all because we weren't like working together or anything, but like you happily connected me with them. And that sort of like just spawned this, this continuous conversation that we have. And then we also did something with the one of the collabs that you did. I think it was it the Coyotes one or something? It might have been All Star.
Yes.
It might have been Austin Matthews at All Star.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Or was it? Or it was either Austin Matthews at All Star, maybe Team of the Year. There was a couple of them where you guys had like some really cool, like collabs. Yeah. That we either did articles on or we talked about it on the drop. So like over the years, we just basically like kept in touch, like kept tabs. I would send messages every couple months saying, hey, like what do you guys have on the horizon? Like what are you guys working on? That kind of thing. And then, yeah, like, it's awesome, dude. Like I'm so bullish on this. Are you guys selling stock? Can I buy stock?
Hopefully soon, right?
I'm so bullish on this. I think it's going to be, I'm so pumped for the next, like, immediate future for you guys. Truly.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
You're not going to win this tournament. not a chance.
I'm not playing. I already got washed by you, so.
I think you got shut out by him, didn't you?
Yeah, 2-0.
No big deal. Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, he jumped on first minute, talked a big game. It's only Friday, like Nick said. If you're watching this now, it's just Friday, the day before the tournament, so. And Arda already had the belt in his hand, so we'll see how that goes.
Just saying.
It's funny too. So like on the podcast too, Matt and I always do this thing where we do like a quick show and tell piece, and I feel like you showed the trophy, so like you kind of nailed that.
Oh, did
show
I
and
steal
tell
the vid?
for us?
Did
No,
I steal
honestly,
the
no,
segment?
it's great. Like seriously,
I just come on and just completely take over the show, just run over everything you guys have.
But no, I honestly, it kind of worked out great though, because I was thinking about bringing the trophy. Like we never even really talked about like what we wanted to do for show and tell today, and that was like a perfect bit, honestly.
For sure.
The trophies were a pleasant surprise because during the tour in the was it not the labeling area or the merch area or the graphics area that they had a Sabres trophy just
I saw
like
that. Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'd never seen that before. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, this is so cool. Like, is this just like a showpiece that people put in their man caves or their games rooms or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to take a picture of this, and I never got the chance to. And then all of a sudden, I walk into here, and there's 2 of them there, and I'm like, oh, it's a trophy for the tournament. That's awesome.
Dude, this whole setup is so sick. Like, you walk in, we have like the bar that's all decked out with all these sponsors. Shout out to Westher because they brought all the cutouts for their individual players on guys from Team Westher. So we have Josh, Dion, and Dawson. We have stickers of all like their heads too, with like Steve Tasker and everything. So thank you again to Westher, presenting sponsor of the DISHIN Super Chexx Bubble Hockey Tournament at Smoldered Society. So Westher, you've been huge there, and yeah, just to set up like all the chairs around and everything. Just I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be unbelievable.
You guys have the potential of making this the premier Super Chexx bubble hockey tournament in the country, in the continent, in North America. People are already traveling from Canada and multiple states to compete in this, right? Like, you are already on your way to establishing this as like one of the, if not the top tournament for Super Chexx bubble hockey, which could eventually become like the championship of record, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
That is cool, man.
You know what I mean? We're getting on the ground floor of this. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
I know. How sick is that? Well, when you compare it to like the NHL, like the World Gaming Championships that they do in partnership with EA and all these other things too. So yeah, I totally agree. It's crazy to think this is the first one, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be more. And this is just the start of it all. So yeah, especially with it being Buffalo.
I mean, we were talking about it. Like, how many other tournaments ever really for Super Chexx have had this many games on one show floor, right? To be able to organize a tournament to this magnitude with, I don't know, how many people, like 30, 50 people possibly entering.
You know, like I think, Matt, you said 40 we're at right now?
We're getting up there, yeah.
And there's probably going to be more, too, because it's open to walk-ins, too.
Right.
So we never know who's going to come in off the street tomorrow.
Like you guys were saying, like many of the signups were people that are hardcore competitors of Super Chexx from across the country that are specifically coming in to play in this tournament, whereas people might just walk in, you know, see a sign on and walking around Buffalo and be like, oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do that today. Like, who knows, right? Yeah, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun. I'm already watching one dude play here, and I'm like terrified.
This guy's nice,
he's
too.
The ringer,
There's one guy who has like this old, it looks like a 90s polo of like a Super Chexx club.
That's him.
I think that's him right there.
What's his name?
Mark Woj.
Woj is his name?
Yep.
Okay. I have
He
two
might be the
Wojs
guy
in
who
my
got-
life then. We have Adrian Wojnarowski, and we have
Hey,
the
Mark,
other
get over
Woj
here.
bomb. When he scores, does he yell, Woj bomb?
I think it's Woj, yeah.
I'm terrified at
Woj
how
bomb.
quick his reflexes are in this game. I can see it from far, and
He's
I'm
doing
like,
like
okay.
trick shots and stuff, like pucks are going off the back wall. Like,
There's just this hub of people that play bubble hockey that are just incredible at it. Like, you should see the rules list. It's like 15 bullet points of things that you can't do because these guys are so good at the game that they just like have all these loopholes and stuff. Like, for example, when you have the puck in the corner, there's like this small gap between like where the sticks don't touch between the centerman and the winger that you can just like feed passes to for like an automatic breakaway. So like, thankfully we have a guy coming in here, Sean Smith, who's traveling from out of town, and shout out to him for coming in for this. But he like knows all the rules. He's been at different tournaments in the past. And
You
won the
have an
tournament.
official that's coming in for the tournament?
Yeah, Sean Smith. You met him at the tour. He had the Mets hat on.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
So he's
an
done a couple
actual
of these.
Super Chexx official. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
Let's talk about the other official we have coming, the WWE official.
Yeah, so this is the other thing of this tournament. We may never have a situation again where you have the undisputed champion all time of WWE and Super Chexx. One of my best friends in life, former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas. He has decided he wants to drive from Toronto and enter the tournament. He is the greatest bubble hockey player in the history of WWE. That's number one. Number two, the greatest bubble hockey player in the history of TSN, which, in case you're not Canadian and don't know what TSN is, that is essentially Canada's ESPN. That is a former coordinating producer of SportsCenter. His name is Steve Argentaru, a.k.a. Slammin' Steve. He will be entering the tournament. And then, naturally, without question, the undisputed champion of all time in bubble hockey at ESPN, you're looking at him. All three of us under one roof, same tournament, once in a lifetime. It may never happen again. Just saying. So if you want to come out and compete and see if you can try your hand against them, just don't be afraid to lose. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop is right. Damn.
Drop this is expensive.
I was not expecting the chirps to be flying like that too off the rip. Like I love it. No, I love it. I love it. I'm excited to hear what some of these guys, like if some of these guys are chirping each other tomorrow too, because some of these people know each other. They've played in tournaments against each other, and they've known each other for years. And I think there's a group that plays every Thursday in Buffalo at Wingnuts.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think they play like every 2 weeks, but it's the same group of guys. And Matt and I had a chance to go and check that out a few months ago, and dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like these guys really. It's a very strategic game too. It seems like.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, boys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I love the giant life-size Super Chexx players that greet you when you come into the big warehouse space that we're in right now. That's nice. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Great touch, yeah.
And Josh Allen is there too. Cardboard cutout. Thanks to West Her.
We've had an eventful day, obviously, and it's been a long day for you. I wanted to ask you, like, so far, what has been like the highlight of your day so far? I know we have a whole action-packed day tomorrow, but you know what so far has been like your favorite so far throughout the day today?
Probably the tour of the facility. It was a lot of fun seeing how the games are made and peeking behind the curtain a little bit for something that means a lot to you. You know, like I love these games, so to see how they were made and to hear from the employees too. A lot of them had been there for decades working there, and they love working there, and just seeing the different departments and how they contribute to this game that I love and you guys love and many people listening, watching love. That was cool. That was awesome. I started the wing journey in Buffalo. That was a lot of fun. I will aim to continue the wing journey. And I will have a definitive answer by this time tomorrow, probably, on what the greatest wing in the city of Buffalo is. And that will be the final answer, by the way. Once I make my determination, there will be no other opinions made for the rest of eternity. Like, we will shut down the debate forever. That will be the final definitive answer. And we will just congratulate the establishment, and they will have the bragging rights for decades to come.
As the Heat Daddy would say, that is not up for discussion.
Correct. It is not up for discussion. But yeah, I would say that's the highlight so far. But I mean, the highlight really is going to be the tournament, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm super pumped. I'm here to host it, maybe call some games, make sure everyone is in line, enjoying themselves, but also following the rules. We have an official. That's great, you know. Stop
Anything
any
on
possible fights for people, you know, losing games.
Yeah.
Can't have any fists thrown at this tournament.
Was there anything you saw at the tour today that maybe gave you a new appreciation for ice as a whole, or Super Chexx, the game that just goes into it? Obviously, we talked about like the players the players, like this community of players that play, but also the people, the employees that Super Chexx were incredible too, and the tour was awesome. But anything that stuck out to you?
Two things, actually. So the guy that gave us the tour, I think he's like one of the EVPs or something. Like, he's a very high up guy there.
31 years he's been there, he said.
Yeah, 31 years. 8 kids, by the way. Mike, are you kidding me? My
Stat of the
goodness.
day.
I can't believe he has time to do anything else. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But he did mention, he was very, you know, passionately talked about how much of a family vibe it is there, and how much the owners, you know, take care of their employees, which is very important. You always want to work somewhere that you love working, so that's really cool. Also, how like much detail goes into each department, like the motherboards versus even like the conditions in which the people that are packaging the games, like they can't have fans because dust will be spread all around, like things like that you don't normally think about, but it just makes you really have to be passionate to be working there, you know, like just the amount of love and the amount of detail that go into each game, I was very impressed by, you know, because like my game just showed up at my door, right? Like I bought it, it showed up at my door. I was really happy to get it, and it was very easy to assemble. But like I didn't think much about each little detail, how the rods were installed and how they function mechanically, and you know how the LED boards are integrated and the motherboards, etc. Like, I didn't think of any of that. So it was really cool to get that perspective, you know. So that was awesome.
To echo that too, I think for me, like the shipping department was unreal. Like you have these huge games, and Super Chexx is probably one of the smallest games that Ice has, but you have like these huge like skee ball and whack-a-clown, and you could go through and name like hundreds of them that are huge. And yeah, from how those go from the facility to either a Dave & Buster's or a wholesale toy arcade company like that, or even like your home, like you said, it's pretty unbelievable. So I think that's a huge piece of their company that maybe not a lot of people see, that I could just tell like so much work goes into that, so much care, because you put all this effort into the floor of making the game, bring it to life, like everything's perfect on the floor, and then you have to get it to a completely different part of the country. So yeah, I think there's a respect and an admiration that comes with that, because those people are just going above and beyond to make sure that it's done the right way.
For sure. And Matt is a huge advocate for quality control, and I think that the people at ICE are very, like, they have like quality control is unbelievable there, and as we saw.
To that point, you were talking about like how Super Chexx is like the smallest game they create, or one of the smallest. It was also surprising how many different games they make.
Yeah.
If you're a Super Chexx fan, that's what you associate ICE with, right? Like the parent company or the company that makes the Super Chexx game. But they make so much more. They make like redemption games like Monopoly. Like they have like a bunch of different licenses. The NBA they work with. Like they have a lot of different games that they work on in the dozens.
Yeah.
And it was surprising to see all of them in one massive warehouse, you know?
Yeah,
like
sure.
that was surprising.
The licensings are sick, like Ghostbusters, Deal or No Deal, like all these different signs like you see throughout the facility are cool. And they're like, I think not just at the company where like they're able to acquire these licenses, and obviously people look past like maybe the NHL or the NBA one, but that's what really sells the game, I think.
Yeah.
Aside from like it being a quality game that people know, like Quarterback Pro, for example, like I don't even think that one has an NFL license, but that game is like so well known and cool enough that it's just like it maybe doesn't need it because it's so iconic.
Well, I can't wait for the tournament, boys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the action. Can't wait to see who wins. Yeah. We're going to have a blast. The space looks great. I'm surprised. I'm impressed that this being the first one. Like the way that this is all laid out and organized for the first one, like you guys are off to the foundation is strong. The foundation is strong, for sure.
Appreciate that. The whole team crushed it too. Derek's been crushing it. Matt's been crushing it. Everybody behind the scenes, Cam from Smolder, and everybody. Just seriously, and Greg, they've all put a ton of time into this, and a lot of prep has gone into it, and it's exciting to see that we're finally here.
Yeah, for sure. And all the sponsors too. Like we could go through and name a million of them, but everybody that has been a part of this has been huge. And Arda, for you flying out, being a part of it means even more to us too. So one of many, first of many.
Happy to. I'm glad I'm here. It's going to be a blast. Let's go. And I will be taking that championship back to New York.
You might have to check that. It's a little heavy.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know if they'll let that on carry on.
Yeah, but yeah, Maddie, anything else you got on the list there?
No, man, I'm pumped for tomorrow.
Me too. Well, Arda, thank you for being here, man. I feel like this has been a long time coming to get you to Buffalo 100%. And kind of be with the boys. So
not the last time either. I'll be back.
But yeah, excited for tomorrow, and yeah, episode 12. Let's go.